Feeling overwhelmed by the demands of daily life, stress can creep in from all directions. But imagine being able to navigate through it with a sense of calm and control. Whether it's work pressures, personal challenges, or just the hustle bustle of modern living, stress is an unavoidable part of life. But here's the good news: it doesn't have to control you. Today, I'm sharing 8 practical tips and techniques to help manage your stress levels. From simple mindfulness practices to effective time management strategy, we're going to cover it all. So if you're ready to take back control and live a more peaceful and balanced life, stay tuned. Let's dive in. Hey, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, my name is Bennett. I'm here to share some ideas that have moved the needle just a little bit for me, and I hope you find them beneficial. The first step to get into a more calm state is to have proper expectations. And it really started for me when I became an entrepreneur. When I took that leap from W to doing my own thing, I thought that I was going to be successful right away. I had certain expectations that I thought were gonna happen. I knew it was gonna be challenging, and I knew sometimes it was gonna be tough, but I didn't realize how tough. And through my entrepreneurial journey, I realized what it really takes to become successful. It allowed me to sympathize with the people who weren't doing so great and give so much respect for the people who were able to figure it out. And what I kept finding about myself is that I would keep getting frustrated. And the frustration was only because I had the wrong expectation of really what it was going to take. And only through experience was I able to really find out what was necessary. I'm still on this journey, but understanding that I have to shift my expectations just a little bit to become successful is the thing that is going to give me more energy to be able to continue moving forward. It's why I highly recommend speaking to people who've been there before, listen to podcasts, read books, because if you can get expert advice from different people who've done it, just the shift of expectation that you're going to have is going to save you so much negative energy. How much stress do we get because we look at other people who might be successful already, but in reality, we just didn't do enough work? If we can start to make that shift, we'll be able to do the things that are necessary. It's really tough to be successful, but it might be even more tough to not be successful. Recognizing that just shifting our expectations could change so much in our lives, whether it's in your personal or professional life. If we can let our egos go just a little bit and allow ourselves to see what is really necessary, we're gonna be able to step it up in all areas of our life. The second tip I want to share regarding being more calm is to really start to work on deep breathing. You see, when I first started my whole personal development journey, I saw people meditating. I heard all about this stuff, but I didn't really connect with it. I just wasn't able to be that type of person to sit on top of a mountain and to just deep breathe all day. And the more I did it, the more I recognized that my body needs to calm down. You see, especially nowadays with so many distractions we have going on, our bodies are constantly working. We're constantly being pulled in so many different ways, and we're getting distracted 24/7. If we can just start to give ourselves some time to be able to just be with ourselves, to be able to think, that's going to be the thing that's going to allow us to move forward. That might just be one of the knobs that we can use to tune down our stress. For me personally, I started off with Tony Robbins' Primate, and the more I got into it, the more I saw that there's so many different techniques you can really use. I personally use box breathing, but regardless of all the different techniques, you need to figure out what's going to be able to work for you. For people who are stressed and just can't get themselves together, being able to just get into a calm state for 5 minutes can do wonders. And if you're the type of person who've tried it before, or maybe you're interested in trying it, understand that it's a skill that we need to work on. So give yourself a commitment for a week or 2 weeks, and understand that when you first get started, you're going to get distracted right away. And if you can slowly build up over time, the amount of time you can get to really just be able to focus, that's going to be the thing that's going to be able to help you and to really keep your stress levels down. The third tip I highly recommend to manage your stress is to journal. I find with me personally, there's so many things going on in my mind, and when I don't have a place to put it all, I just keep it up here. And all that does is make me recycle everything that's going on in my mind. I have so many things that are happening in so many different areas of my life that by having one place that I could just look to take all my different notes and put them in, I know I could just move on and continue on with my day. In the personal development world, everybody talks about journaling, but for me personally, I learned it from Jim Rohn. And the more podcasts I listen to and the more interviews that I watch, I see people constantly referring to their journals, and I see really successful people have something that they put all their ideas into. There's so many different ways you can actually journal, and I made a whole YouTube video separate for that. But one of the most powerful ways that you can really just calm yourself down is to give yourself an energy audit. It's really going onto a piece of paper and making a large T And on one side of it, you have a column that gives you energy, and the opposite side, you have a column of things that take away energy. If you could just start to list all of those different things, you're going to be able to see what is really going on and what's really stressing you out. And once you're able to put base to the things that are stressing you out, you're going to be able to start knocking things off one at a time. Another really powerful thing that you can do in your journal is really just write 1 to 3 things a day of different things that you appreciate. It could be something as massive as closing a big deal, or something as small as the wind in the air. But showing ourselves that we can start to recognize the different things that we're going to be able to appreciate is really just going to only build on our gratitude and really only help us move forward. Sometimes it puts into perspective what really matters, and the things that we're stressed out about maybe aren't really the biggest deal. That being said, if you made it up until here, would you mind hitting that subscribe button, and I'll make sure to put it into my journal. The fourth thing we can do to help calm ourselves down is really just to get out. For me personally, I know when I start to get stressed out, going on a walk or working out can be such a game changer. We're always looking to protect ourselves, and the more work we do, the more we feel accomplished. But what happens so many times is that we get so focused and so stuck that we forget to get up and forget to move. It is so important for us to be able to get out, and just a breath of fresh air is going to be the thing that's going to be able to help us move forward. The fact that it can help you get into that creative zone of yours is only going to make it more beneficial to you. Understanding that if you're sitting for too long or if you're inside all day, it might be worth it to just get on a walk. It's why I try walking every single day, just to be able to get that fresh air. The fifth idea in terms of what we can do to help calm ourselves down is to really have a support team. Having people talk to is going to be the thing that's going to be able to allow us to get our ideas and our thoughts out. Journals can be extremely beneficial, but when somebody's asking you a question back and you respect that person and want to hear that person's opinion, you can get to such deep levels. Whether it's a friend, a family member, a coach, or a therapist, being able to have the people around you that are going to be able to help support you is going to be key. So many times you just need that one person that we can speak to that can really just help us get through it. The amount of times I spoke to the people and I've had that one conversation with them that really shifted so much in my life, I'm so grateful for all the conversations that I've had. You never know where it's going to come from, and having the people in your life is going to be really special. Finding those people could be tough, but I'm telling you, keep looking for them. And once you find somebody, make sure not to let go. Too many people think they could do it by themselves, but having a team around you is only going to help you to move forward. You look at the most successful people, and they're all surrounded by a team who are help supporting them. Try to find your people, by them giving you their different perspective could be something that can unlock a shift that you might not have seen otherwise. This sixth way that you can start to really calm yourself down is by affirmations, visualizations, or manifestation. And this is really a huge topic, and whether it works or whether it doesn't work, I personally have seen it work in my own life. If you can start to work on the way you speak to yourself and the way that you see yourself acting, that could be something that could really start to shift everything. Our subconscious is so powerful, and so many times we don't even realize how much negativity we're bringing into our lives based on our speech and our thoughts. If we could bring the words or the phrases into our life with positive affirmations, those can be the little sticks that get to start the flame. If we can start focusing on what it is we can start to do, that can give us the willpower to take the action. And if we can add emotion to the visualization, by manifesting, we can really accomplish so much more. And of course, it's not this heebie-jeebie stuff. You still have to take the action. But how many times do we hold ourselves back because of the negative thoughts and the negative talk that we have? If we can start to shift that just a little bit, we're going to give ourselves a better chance of taking the action that's going to change it all for us. We all know we're affected by negative people around us, and there's no reason why we should be bringing the negativity into us. The seventh tip is to get organized. For so many people, they're just so stressed because they have so much going on, but they don't realize that what they have going on can be fixed. Things like actually just cleaning up or batching your time could be two ways for us to really start to get ourselves back together. Why would you not be stressed if you walked to an office or a bedroom and it was all over the place? It's on us to be able to make sure that our lives are organized. And if we're not able to control our lives when things are small, then why do you think we're going to be able to control them when they're big? Some people are totally fine with having chaos in our life, but for most people, walking into a clean bedroom can give you such a sense of calm. The eighth tip is productivity, and this is something very personal to me. Looking back at my life, at the times where I felt the worst about myself, it usually was around the idea of me not being productive. Being someone who knows how important time is and knowing that we have to utilize every second that we have, by us not feeling productive could be something that could be really devastating for us. When I find myself being stressed, it's usually because I'm not doing as much as I know I could be doing. And for some of us, it might be multiple areas, and what we need to ask ourselves is, which is one area that can start to snowball all the other areas? Because if we can start to step up in one area, you're going to see that we're going to be able to really affect other areas as well. And instead of thinking big picture of all the things that you're able to do, what is one action you can take? Because if we can start feeling productive and start to move forward in one direction, we're going to be able to constantly take the action and start to live the lives that we want to be living. And if you're the type of person where it's really hard for you to stay productive, I made a whole other video on all the myths about productivity.